Alright, hear me out. We all know Seth Rollins isn't the official GOAT of the WWE, but what if I told you he might secretly be the most complete wrestler of this generation? And maybe, just maybe, he might be the most underrated GOAT candidate ever. Listen, as of recently, Seth Rollins has been on an absolute heater in WWE. And the other night I was watching the WWE Rivals, and that episode pertained to Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And that's when it kind of just clicked in my head. Seth Rollins actually might be the most underrated GOAT in WWE history. So without further ado, welcome to the Corners Crew page, and let's dive right into why Seth Rollins might be sitting at the GOAT table and no one's realizing it. The first word that came to my mind includes versatility, because Seth Rollins is literally the Swiss Army knife of the WWE. Technical matches, hardcore spots, high-flying moments, promos, comedy, drama. This dude's elite in everything he does. Not many can seamlessly switch between a top tier performer and a top tier sports entertainer in this company, and Seth is rare in that. Seth Rollins is one of those few wrestlers who in history can actually pull off any role. Whether he's the cool anti-hero, the extremely bad heel, or just the babyface, he pulls off everything he does in the company. And I dedicate that all to Seth Rollins, because he fully commits to each role and somehow he makes each version work. Originally, we had the heel architect in 2014, who was known as the sellout who broke up the Shield and joined the Authority. And then we moved on to Kingslayer in 2018. And this is when he came back from that really bad injury, if I remember, and he turned face. And everybody just started to love him and he turned red hot in the company. And now he's at the Messiah, Drip God, visionary Seth Rollins that we know today. Which, honestly, bro just went full Joaquin Phoenix and somehow he made it main event worthy in every way possible. Even present day Rollins, laughing in $5,000 suits and eating camera time from other superstars like it's candy. But dude, what actually is the craziest part of this whole thing? None of this feels fake. It doesn't feel like a gimmick. Each of these character developments feel like a legitimate character development and an actual evolution of the Seth Rollins character at the core, which honestly I think is just more dangerous than if you just completely changed your gimmick and it started working. The second topic I want to touch on is match quality consistency. Seth Rollins might actually be the most reliably great wrestler in the past 10 plus years. You can drop him in any match with any opponent in any city and you're guaranteed a 4-star minimum performance from him. Like, be honest, when Seth Rollins is on a card, you know that match is about to slap. He's the guy that makes every match feel important, even if it's not. And if you don't believe me, just go down his big match resume. You could make a best of Rollins DVD set, and honestly, I think it would compete with anybody else in history. Like, I'm serious, great match after great match in this dude's career. Triple H, WrestleMania 33, AJ Styles, Money in the Bank 2019, and even Cody Rhodes at Hell in a Cell in 2022. The main story was Cody had a torn pec and he still wrestled. But in my honest opinion, people forget that Seth Rollins carried that match. He had to keep Cody safe. And in my opinions, without Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes wouldn't have made that match a legendary performance. And then even besides PLE events, what about that gauntlet match on Raw in 2018? Seth wrestled over an hour and pinned John Cena and Roman Reigns back to back. It literally made the fans cheer Monday Night Rollins on a throwaway Monday Night Raw. Alright, let's talk gold. And by that I mean Seth Rollins' accolades. I know it's always a point that nobody really wants to hear, but when you take a look back at Seth Rollins' resume, it's stacked. Like, seriously, like, I think people forget how stacked Seth Rollins' resume is. So I'm just gonna make this part short and sweet and just gonna list off a couple for you. We have a 1-time World Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time WWE Champion, 2-time Intercontinental, 2-time United States, and it just keeps going, but I don't know if I really want to list all of them. Royal Rumble winner, check. Money in the Bank winner, check. And added onto that, he arguably has one of the greatest cash-ins of all time with the heist of the century. So let me just make this straightforward just to shorten this down. Seth Rollins is so good that in his time at WWE, they've trusted him with all of the big boy toys within the company. So basically he's won everything and he doesn't really have much to prove anymore. Now this is where it gets fun. My next point is Seth Rollins actually carried the company. When Roman Reigns had to leave in 2018 due to his unfortunate circumstances with battling leukemia, Who held the fort down? It wasn't Cena and it wasn't Brock. It was Seth Rollins. And I'm telling you, I know the WWE was in panic mode at this time. Who was gonna carry the company? Well, Seth Rollins did. He carried Raw, worked double duty, and was a workhorse in a time of uncertainty. I can't stress this enough, but WWE is a cutthroat business, and to stay on top, you need to work hard. Not everyone can carry that ball of pressure, fame, and work, but Seth never dropped it. He was the guy, main eventing, winning gold, and keeping Raw alive when nobody really else could. He main evented the house shows and the televised events. Oh, and his feud with Dean Ambrose. While the writing was kind of weird, it was emotionally heavy, and it showed that he could lead a top-tier storyline in WWE. But in my opinion, the craziest was actually WrestleMania 35. He was opening the show and beating Brock Lesnar clean for the Universal title. WWE at this time knew who the fans trusted. Now let's talk about his global impact. Seth's side hustle is being the meme god. Dude went full fashion icon, wrestled in lace, and made it look cool. Now, Seth Rollins is definitely not as corporate as John Cena or Roman Reigns, but fans across different markets respect him highly, especially the diehards. I mean, the crowd singing his theme song every week is just the perfect example of organic fan love. It's not manufactured, they want to engage with Seth Rollins. It's also important to note that, well, his outfits go viral every week. Like, seriously, he is legitimately a walking Met Gala rep. The next point I have ready to go is the Shield. The Shield is one of the most iconic factions in WWE history, and Seth Rollins is the one who broke them. People often like to forget that the Shield wasn't on a decline. Like, they were never slowing down. And a lot of times people remember the Shield as Roman's launchpad for his WWE success. But who broke it up? Seth did. Who became the first major singles champ? Seth did. Seth was actually the first breakout star from the group, winning the Money in the Bank and the WWE Championship before Roman. He was the one who was picked to betray the group, and he was the one who gave us arguably one of the biggest heel turns of all time. And honestly, I'm gonna say it, without Seth's betrayal, the Shield's legacy doesn't hit as hard. Moving on to my next point is that Seth Rollins is a company man, and he helps build other superstars. A big part of being the GOAT isn't just your own success, it's whether you make others look better as well. And honestly, Seth Rollins has done that for years. He brings out the best in everyone he faces, from legends to rookies. I'm telling you right now, go watch any feud. His opponents always look stronger after facing him. And honestly, do you want some good examples? A good example would be Dominic Mysterio. His feud with Seth Rollins gave him credibility and momentum within the company. And then another includes the most shocking one to me, which is Cesaro at WrestleMania 37. This dude, Seth Rollins, legitimately gave Cesaro his first WrestleMania singles win and made him look like a main event level player. But again, my favorite aligns with the Cody Rhodes return. Seth Rollins helped build Cody Rhodes into what he is in today. In that all-time feud, Seth lost all 3 matches and didn't lose an ounce of credibility among the fans. And if anything, Seth Rollins actually helped elevate Cody Rhodes to the main event status instantly. So no shade to Gunther, but Seth isn't just a performer, this guy actually might be the ring general. And my final point brings us to Seth Rollins' promo game. Again, his promos don't scream like The Rock or John Cena, but his character does the talking, and his promos are always effective. He uses tone, cadence, and body language like a true entertainer, as if he went to the Juilliard School of Drama in New York. Whether he's being cocky, crazy, or sinister, it always works. The Monday Night Messiah promos had cult leader vibes, but honestly, they were way ahead of their times. And then even as the visionary, his maniacal laugh and borderline like Joker behavior gave him one of the most unique personas on the roster. But some of my favorite Seth Rollins promo work has come recently with his feud with CM Punk. Before the Raw is Netflix debut, CM Punk and Seth Rollins promos were unmatched. And if you've been listening to his promos during that rivalry, you realize a lot of the things that I'm trying to connect in this video is what he was trying to describe. And I have to admit, during that rivalry, I am a huge Seth Rollins fan, and I completely agreed with everything he was saying. Like, even to a certain point that where I was beginning to get infuriated by CM Punk. Because even like I just said in this whole entire video, and like Seth said, After Punk left, Seth kinda put this company on his shoulders. But nevertheless, visionary, cult leader, madman, it's not traditional, but it all works. And basically, after all these points, this brings us to the conclusion. So whether you agree or disagree with me about whether Seth Rollins actually might be the most underrated candidate for GOAT in WWE, let me just make this point forward. Seth Rollins has never officially been the face of the company, but somehow Seth Rollins has been at the center of every major moment, feud, and era of the past decade. Always reliable, always evolving, and always delivering. If being everywhere, doing everything, and making everyone better isn't GOAT status enough, then what is? Again, Seth Rollins may not be the official GOAT, but low-key, he might be the best overall well-rounded wrestler in WWE history. And with that, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. Also, leave me a comment if you agree or disagree. Anyway, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you guys next time.